my podcast. But yeah, no, I need to check myself. I need to be meaner to dudes. I just need to like because they can handle it. You know, I think it's because I think I'm like empathetic, but I'm not as empathetic as I tell myself I'm empathetic, but I'm not that empathetic. Like I do genuinely care, but like not that much, you know? Post on my Instagram story, ask me a question.
Welcome to my podcast. You're listening to another episode of Leave Me Alone. I am your host, Elena Bamfield. I have another solo episode for you this week. Gonna be a lot of solo episodes, I feel like, this year, at least until I can find my own space and get out of my father's house. So, yeah, I think it would be a little bit weird for me to invite my friends over to do a podcast in my childhood bedroom, considering most of my friends in comedy are men between 10 and 20 years older than me, which could be a fun, like, Patreon sort of thing that I do. Like, getting local comedians in my childhood bed. Like, how many can we fit? How many can we fit? Not many. Oh, man. That was a subtle fat joke. But I love all of you. Thank you for returning. Welcome if you're new. Welcome to 2022. Welcoming 2022 with open arms. Oops, don't look at that. They're not a sponsor. This podcast has no sponsors. It's amazing. Maybe someday. But this is my first episode that I'm recording in 2022. Second episode of the year. First one I'm recording in the actuality of the new year. I lied to you guys last time when I said Happy New Year. It wasn't 2022 yet. I had no idea what was in store, right? Like, I had no idea when I was recording the last episode that my dog was going to tear her other ACL, which is crazy. I didn't even know she played basketball. Where did you find the time to get an ACL injury? Like, literally, the first day of the fucking new year, she slips on the ice and damages her other leg. In November, she hurt herself, tore her ACL. I scheduled the surgery. Soon as we could get him in was February. And then the first day of the new year, she suffered a second bilateral ACL tear, which I think a normal sane person would probably like put the dog down. Like, if I was born in any generation older than the one I'm born in, they would put him down for sure. But I mean, I cannot fucking do that. So we are going through with it. We're doing the surgery. I've been calling her Lieutenant Jinx because she's an 85-pound paraplegic dog, which is kind of a lot to care for. If you think about that just for a second, like, you know, all the things that your dog does on its own, like, she wants to do all of those things, but I have to take her to do them. You know, it's been emotionally and physically taxing. I don't weigh much more than she does. I'd say she's probably 90% of my fucking body weight. So, I'm getting shredded, going to the gym. I am a little bit. I have been doing more squats and shit because if I'm gonna be picking this dog up for the next 8 to 10 months, then I'm gonna have to get swole. So if anyone wants to go to the gym, please fucking hit me up. I need to, like, go to the gym and eat a fuck ton of pasta so that I can get some gains to help my dog. A lot of people have been asking me. It's not a cheap surgery, if you're wondering. You must be like, oh wow, a veterinary orthopedic surgeon, that sounds affordable. It's not. It's expensive. A lot of people have been messaging me. I've been kind of outward about it on the internet, just about how ridiculously priced it is, which of course is obviously going to bring people into my inbox. Like, do you have a GoFundMe, or what are you doing? Can I start a GoFundMe? Like, a lot of people have been reaching out to me trying to help, and I appreciate the fuck out of you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. But if you are an avid listener of this podcast, then you're aware that good old Larry Nassar, good old Lawrence Nassar of MSU Sports Med got me. So I do have the means to take care of this surgery on my own. I, you know, would prefer not to, but I can't think of a better reason to use the money other than, you know, one of the humans that I love getting hurt and needing surgery. So I'm doing fine. If you want to support me, you're honestly already doing that by watching this podcast. Please share it, like this video, subscribe to the channel. That's honestly that's the way you're gonna help me. The dog's gonna be fucking fine. All right. I have a career I'm trying to build here. So if you guys could just help out and maybe be a little more fucking supportive. I'm just kidding. You guys are amazing. Good God. Good God. But yeah. But that being said, also, if you're someone that has the power to book me on shows, I would love to come out and do your show. I had a good time last night at Demented Peach. Thank you, John Batch and fucking David Steves and the person that dropped the show for giving me the opportunity to come out of my depression hole and do something like fucking normal, you know? Because like for the past week, I had to call off work because the dog is apparently a fear biter when she's in pain. I just found that out. So I was the only one able to care for her for a minute. So I had to take some time off work, and I was just literally sitting like in this exact spot waiting for my dog to have a bowel movement for like a week. That's all I did, was just like waited for her to have to shit. And so it was nice to fucking, you know, trudge out there and do some comedy and just feel normal again. Like just do something that isn't that. And I was really worried because I hadn't done stand up in 2 weeks, and that doesn't seem like a lot of people. I feel like people, especially people that have been doing comedy for a long time and people that don't do comedy at all, think that comedy is like riding a bike. But it's fucking not, dude. I don't know what it's like. It's like riding a pogo stick. Like I could probably figure it out after a couple of tries, but like I am not jumping on a pogo stick right now and doing anything fun. Like I'm hurting myself. And I don't know why I chose a pogo stick for that analogy, but here we fucking are. But no, it had been 2 weeks since I'd been on stage. I went on stage. That's a lie. I went on stage the night before I went to Parrots Lounge, and I bombed my dick off. I felt like I bombed my dick off. Everyone else told me that it was fine. But it's hard for me to gauge what like a fucking hardcore bomb is for me. For me, if I feel icky when I get off stage and I didn't feel like they laughed as hard as they should have, then that's a bomb. So that happened to me. Felt bad, dude. I felt fucking like my body, on the inside of my body when I was going on stage, felt awful. Like at both shows. Like I have not had stage fright like that in fucking so long. Literally, like I haven't had stage fright like that in probably a year. Like since everything opened back up again. That blows my mind. It blows my mind that I took 8 months off of stand-up comedy, and like after 8 months of being off, I felt the awful feeling of stage fright, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep on doing this. And you do it because you know it's gonna get better, right? Like it doesn't stay for forever. But like I fucking hate it. Like I like being nervous on stage. Being nervous before you go on stage is a good thing. I don't ever want to lose being nervous. 'Cause being nervous means that you care. Being nervous, at least for me, it helps my set. It helps keep me on my toes for my set and keeps my brain sharp when I'm fucking figuring out what I'm trying to do, especially if I've, you know, had a few weeks off and I've been rusty. I don't take a few weeks off very often, though. That's the thing. I don't know why 2 weeks affected me like that, but it was like for the first 3 minutes last night while I was on stage, my ears were ringing, I was sweating, my tongue was salty, like I was gonna throw up, you know that like gross. It was bad, honestly. Like the set wasn't bad, but like I felt bad until I got that first big laugh. And as soon as they I swear to God, as soon as they laughed, it cured me. And I realized, like, do not underestimate the power of a good set, okay? 'Cause that pulled me out immediately. Like as soon as they started laughing at my shit, I felt better. I felt like comfortable enough to goof around with them a little bit and try some new stuff in the middle. And it was really fucking nice to do 15 minutes. So thank you to Demented Peach and the producers of that show for reaching out to me, because it's also just nice to be thought of as well. Like that happened to me just today. Someone reached out to me to do a show, and just fucking got my name from someone else in the scene. So that's always really validating to be thought of for things like that. And I'm sure a humbling experience is gonna follow me very soon. That's the comedy does a good way of doing that to me. Just fucking like it always seems like after after a really high, I get just taken down a notch, and I'm thankful for that. I feel like comedy's self-regulating in that way, because the show I did before the new year, before Christmas, was dope, dude. My imposter syndrome doesn't want me to say this, but I fucking murdered. I did great. I felt great. I murdered. I did a new bit, and it went well. So it's kind of a matter of time that I'm feeling the way I feel right now about my material and everything. But I don't know. It's kind of a self-serving thing too that I found. Like for me at least when I'm on stage, because I was thinking about it like after the fact, like on the drive home with Louis, which is another thing. Like I went there with Lou Michael. He's been on this podcast before. I think I fucking mention Louis every goddamn podcast, but whatever. I was road dogging with Lou. He was closing out the show last night, and he's been doing comedy for a little bit longer than me. A little bit. I've been doing it for like 2 years. He's been doing it for like going on 7. So he's just got more experience with like the stage time and everything like that. And I think I just kind of like I listened to some of his set. It wasn't a great setup for comics to watch the other comics, but I listened to some of his set and just kind of the way he went through it and did everything. And I think it's just an amount of time spent thing. Like for real. Like I think like you know how when you're a kid, like a year like seems so fucking long. Like someone's like, "Oh yeah, in a year we're going to go to Disney World or whatever." And you're like, "A year? Like that's forever." And then like now at 25, like a year goes by so fucking fast, and it just has something to do with like the amount of time lived in comparison. 'Cause like when you're 4 years old, a year of your life is a quarter of your fucking life. Like that seems like such a long time. But then when you're 25, like a year of your life is 1/25 of the time you've spent here, so it doesn't feel as long. I don't know if that's the laws of time, but that's kind of how it feels with stand up too, I think. So like I guess what I'm saying is like comparatively, like Louis' 7 years, 2 weeks off in Louis' 7 years of doing comedy doesn't feel that much. Like he always says drop in a bucket. It's a drop in the bucket. Every open mic is just another drop in the bucket. It's fine or whatever. And I'm like, I'm starting to get that, like concept. Like it's starting to like click in my mind or whatever, and like actually like make sense, and I can like apply it to real life situations, like when I'm bombing and shit like that. But I don't know. It just the time thing. I think that as I continue to do it, having the time off won't be as stressful, and it won't be as discombobulating, because that's the word I would use for it. Is it is discombobulating. Felt discombobulating to get back on stage after taking so much time off, and I gotta give it to myself because I had a fucked up week. Like I did. I had a fucked up week. I shouldn't have even probably accepted that show I did last night based on where my head's been at, but I took a chance and it worked out. I don't know if I'd be able to record the podcast if I had bombed horribly, but I did 15 minutes. I had fucking fun. I can say that honestly. And we're heading into my comedy goals for the future here. So I've got fucking comedy goals for 2022. The last time I did this, the world shut down for like 8 months. So I'm hoping that me announcing to the world what I want to do this year isn't going to fuck anything up. I've come to terms with the dog and the surgery and the rehab and not being able to, get out of here for quite some time. And I've decided that it's a good thing. And I want to remind all of my listeners that I don't want to move to New York or leave the state because I think that I've done everything I can do here, or learned everything I can learn. Like, I know there's so much for me to learn in whatever scene that I'm in. So I'm fucking thankful that it's this one and not some fucking, I don't know what would be a bullshit scene uh in my mind, but I'm glad that it's Michigan. I feel like I've got a lot of really great people that are leaps and bounds ahead of me that I can look up to and learn from. So in that sense, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the year brings. And I do believe that everything happens for a reason. Like, it's corny as fuck, but like, I do believe that everything happens for a reason. So there is something here that I'm supposed to be here for this year, and I can't wait to see what it is. Hopefully it's good. Wouldn't that be so cool if it was good instead of like something that was bad? God, I can't handle any more bad things happening. If another bad thing happens to me, yeah. I was gonna say something illegal. I'm not gonna build a bomb. But if any more bad things happen to me, we don't want them to. But my comedy fucking, what am I doing right now? The comedy goals for 2022 is that I want a fucking feature. Okay. I want to be a feature act. I think it's possible. That's not to say that I think that I've hosted all the hosting I can do. I've hosted one weekend at a club, but doing 15 minutes last night and having fun with it, and with the some of the new premises that I have that I want to work on, I think that it's fucking attainable. Okay? Like, I honestly feel like if I needed to right now, I could pull 20 minutes out of my ass. I don't think I wouldn't be proud of all of it, but my goal for, I guess maybe it's not to be a feature act or like in the like concrete sense of the word, but I want to have 30 minutes that I'm fucking proud of and that I'm excited to do. If one of my friends that's a headliner in Michigan, if one of them asks me to come out and do a feature spot for them, like, I want to confidently say yes. That's my goal. That being said, I'd also like to see how many clubs, if I could get into all of the, let me see if I can even think. There's fucking One Night Stands, Traverse City Comedy Club, Dr. Grins is closed, rest in peace, pulling that finger back. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle, Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. I think that's 4. There's like 4, maybe 5 fucking clubs in the state that are operating right now. And so if I could do a weekend of hosting for each of them, that's kind of a big ask, but there's 52 weeks in a year, so maybe I can do some hosting work for the clubs in Michigan. That'd be a cool one to accomplish by the end of the year. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I wanna have more material, and I want to be a better advocate for myself. Like, I'm pretty funny. I'm really kind, and I try to be as professional as I fucking can. So if those are things that interest you, you can you can email me at Elena Banfield Comedy and offer me opportunities, and I will accept them. And since I care, I'm gonna freak out about the performance for like 2 weeks before it happens, and practice really hard to make sure that I produce good content for you. So that was my disgusting pitch to get myself booked on shit. But it's honestly like, I've been getting like fucking so annoyed, like not with anybody else, but with myself. Like, just looking at the scene and looking at how people promote themselves on Instagram. And I'm not talking about national touring headliners or, anything like that. I'm talking about like people like me that still have to ask to get on stuff. Like, the way people advertise themselves is cringy. Like, most of the time it's fucking cringy as shit. And it bothers me because I know that I'm pretty good at stand up. Like I said earlier, I'm pretty funny. And I'm pretty serious about my work. And so it's just frustrating that to know that if I could like just let my morals slip a little bit and like be a little bit cringier on the internet, I might be able to get more for myself. And so that's a struggle too. So I want to be a better advocate for myself, and I think there's a way you could do it without being cringy. This probably isn't it. Like whatever I'm doing, like I'm sorry if you've cringed when you're watching this. Like that's the other thing, is that you don't know it's cringe when it's happening usually. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about at this point. The mushy portion of the podcast is over. Just so you guys know, I'm done talking about like my personal fucking life and everything. I do have one. I've been trying to think of like one topic that's outside of myself and outside of my life to talk about on the podcast, so that it's not just a giant fucking pity party every week, and you guys aren't just like watching a video diary of a sad 25-year-old woman pursuing a weird art form in her parents' house. Like, I try to make this, give you guys a little bit of substance in the pod. So, where the fuck is my vape? It's right there. Okay, we got it. So I am, unfortunately, I'm a TikTok user. So I really like fucking sitting on TikTok for hours and just aimlessly scrolling through and watching what the algorithm gives for me. Right? But the problem with algorithms are, and I'm not a computer scientist, so if you want to take this with a grain of salt, I highly encourage that. But to my understanding, the way an algorithm works is that what you interact with, so what you watch, what you click on, what you like or comment on, the algorithm's going to give you more of that. But it doesn't seem to work that way, right? Because like I cannot get away from the same kinds of videos. Like I have made 3 separate TikTok accounts with 3 separate emails, and I literally don't know if it's my subconscious is bringing these things to my For You page or not, but like I cannot get away from fucking mental health self-diagnosis TikTok. Like I'm convinced at this point, because I've made so many TikTok accounts, I'm convinced that like that is like at least a quarter of people on TikTok are just people that are like claiming to have a mental health crisis and getting views because of it. And I have a fucking article here that we're gonna watch, because I feel like first before we talk about this fucking article, I want to show you the reason that I didn't delete TikTok completely. So the reason that I didn't fucking immediately delete TikTok is because this came up on my For You page, and it reminded me why I sit in TikTok holes for hours. It's so that a gem like this will come up. So here's one of my favorite TikToks right now. Enjoy. Zach, put it like on the screen somewhere. Thank you.
Hey, do you mind if I play some sounds to fall asleep? I have some trouble sometimes.
No, absolutely not. Go
Thank
for
you
it.
so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. And if you don't think that's funny, fuck off, you know? Like everything about it's perfect. I think I like it because it seems like something that me and my best friend Scarlett would have done during the Vine days. But TikTok is fucking weird too, right? Like, cause like I made a new account because I made a link tree, which made me feel like a new woman. And one of the options on the link tree was to like link a TikTok account, and I have one that I use to watch videos because it's got the most decent algorithm. I use that one. And then I have a separate one that's called Elena Banfield Comedy. If you guys want to go and follow it, feel free. I posted a video to the TikTok, and okay, so like I want to say it went viral, but it didn't. Like TikTok showed the video to 15,000 people, but only 350 of them liked the video. So like comparatively, probably wasn't that great of a video. But it's weird the things that TikTok pushes out. Like I've posted videos of me doing stand-up. I've posted clips of the pod. I've posted my brother's wisdom teeth removal video. And like none of those got any traction. And the one that they decided to like push out to people was a video I made in Target. I was just looking at some lights, some like fucking hang up lights like this. And I flipped the box to the bottom and it had a big warning sign. And the warning said cancer and reproductive harm. That is literally the TikTok. And I literally am like, what is it about this fucking video that you guys thought was worth it? It kind of pissed me off, to be honest. Like, I'm leaving it up there because, like, whatever. But, like, it kind of pissed me off because I was like, dude, I have posted to this fucking stupid website so many goddamn times with content that's better than this, funnier than this, and had more effort put into it, and that is what you decide to push out to people. Like, that's the epitome of TikTok, is just hot fucking trash. Hot trash being pushed onto you. And one of those pieces of hot trash, I've talked about this on the podcast before. I think my episode called Victim Culture, I kind of touched on this. But Good Morning America talked about it, and I think that's maybe why I feel comfortable doing it, because I'm like, if Good Morning America fucking brought this shit up, dude, then it must like actually be a fucking problem, right? Hold on, let me open this. Fucking right here. So there has been a boom. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. So there has been a fucking boom of Gen Z kids. So Gen Z and whatever the one is below them that all have the internet now. I don't know. You should have to be 18 to use the internet. You should. 14-year-old me would hate me saying that right now, but like 14-year-old me also posted Lil Wayne lyrics on the internet with the N-word in them. So if you want to go cancel me, check out my Facebook, because it's definitely fucking on there with a soft A. But all right. That's why kids shouldn't have the internet. But also because with things like TikTok now, kids and young adults. I'm not even going to say kids because I fell victim to it myself. Like, I legitimately, there was a point last summer where I had myself convinced that I had borderline personality disorder, okay? And that's because of fucking TikTok. And that sounds stupid, but it's not. It's fucking real. There are so many kids that think they have diseases that they don't have purely for the sensationalization that they will get from putting it on fucking TikTok, right? So here's a video, again, Zach, in this general vicinity. Just open it, you fucking cocks. Jesus. All right, we're watching it. It's buffering. There's a fucking ad for Ford. You know what Ford stands for? Found on road dead. Buy a Chevy. All right. I just sounded like such a hick. Buy Chevy. Here we go. You bitch.
Now to the rise in teens on TikTok who are self-diagnosing themselves with rare mental health disorders that they probably don't have after watching videos on the social platform. It's a story we first saw in the Wall Street Journal, and Ariel Reshef joins us with more on this. Ariel, good morning.
Good morning to you, Mary. Those videos have been viewed hundreds of millions of times on TikTok, and experts say while this may be elevating the conversation about mental health, self-diagnosis can be a dangerous, slippery slope.
DID typically occurs between the ages of 6 and 9.
This morning, experts warning about what they call a troubling trend on TikTok that could leave some teens believing they have a serious mental disorder.
Hello.
Posts with the hashtag dissociative identity disorder and borderline personality disorder viewed hundreds of millions of times. Some of those videos listing possible signs to look out for and encouraging viewers to self-evaluate. 18-year-old Samantha Fridley says she was convinced she was suffering from one of those conditions.
I remember just seeing these videos like on my For You page about just like people saying like, oh, here's signs you may have this disorder. Like it was like bipolar or like borderline or all these different like rare disorders I've never even heard of before.
This could have been me.
And my mind like would just be like, you know, like maybe I don't have just depression and anxiety, maybe it's something else.
According to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, borderline personality disorder is extremely rare. Only 1.4% of the
rare.
U.S. adult population is estimated to have this condition, and it is rarely diagnosed in adolescence.
If you spend 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes viewing people talk about these disorders over and over and over again, that can make it seem like these conditions are a lot more prevalent than they actually are in the world.
All right, that's fucking enough. I don't know why. I don't know why his voice made me want to turn it off, but that's the fucking the gist of it, right? Is that Good Morning America has realized the severity of these TikTok trends, right? And I want to talk about them because it's at a point now where I feel like it's affecting my fucking life, because now I've got people in my life that are also seeing these things, and it sucks because it's I don't know if it's literally out of like a genuine concern for yourself and your own like well-being or not, or if it's like a performative thing. But a lot of fucking people are self-diagnosing themselves with shit and deciding that that's just like okay. And I just gotta speak out, dude, and just I gotta say, like, it sounds like I'm gonna say what I mean. It sounds like fucking Munchausen syndrome to me. And if you guys don't know what Munchausen syndrome is, I'll give you the exact fucking definition of that. Munchausen syndrome, if you're hearing this, you probably think you know what it is, and you're probably thinking of like Gypsy Rose, the girl that's mom made her pretend to have cancer. Munchausen is when you do that shit to yourself. So, Munchausen syndrome is a psychological disorder where someone pretends to be ill or deliberately produces symptoms of illness in themselves. Their main intention is to assume the sick role so that people care for them and that they are the center of attention. And let me tell you what, if you diagnose yourself with borderline personality disorder, autism, or ADHD on TikTok, you can guarantee yourself at least 10,000 followers. That's the trend that I see, and it's really troubling. And I'm interested to see what happens in 5 to 10 years. Good Morning America is probably going to run an article about I swear to God, we're going to look at this period of time, and it's going to have a name. It's going to be its own fucking mental disorder and have its own name. I don't know. I feel like I'm just getting kind of stingy, but it literally just fucking, it reminds me of just like a bunch of kids that didn't get enough attention. And it pisses me off because, especially just the self-diagnosis of it all. The fact that children use the app, and the fact that people can so quickly gain a following and just start talking to thousands of fucking people, sometimes millions of people in different cases, right? And they haven't even spoken to a doctor, and they're now telling other people how they can diagnose themselves. And I guess the only reason I have a problem with it is because I don't know. I guess these kids are asking society to accommodate them for things that they're not even sure they have. So it's just really frustrating. And I want to say the shitty thing that people always say. I don't know. It's gonna make me sound like I fucking hate people with mental illnesses, but like I know people. I'm friends with people that have these things, and You're taking away that shit from them, to be quite honest. Like it's fucking, I don't know. I'm not here to take offense for anybody else, but also as somebody whose mom took them in to get tested for autism, like as a child, like I don't know, dude. It's fucking not cheap, dude. Like my mom took me to go get tested for autism. I've been trying to do this joke on stage. It's actually been working because it starts off as an autism joke and it ends as a joke about my mom being ugly. So like whatever, fucking get with it or get off the train. And but my mom took me to get tested for autism because I wasn't looking at her enough. Like she was like, you just wouldn't make eye contact with me and it like freaked me out. So I took you in to get autism testing, and the doctor told my mom that her face was too bland and there was nothing for me to focus on. And you know what? That bitch put on some red lipstick and it worked. Like, she went in there worried about her child's cognitive functions and left diagnosed with bland face. So I just like, maybe she should have if she would have pushed that harder, man, I would have been fucking doing just fine right now. Fucking 100,000 viewers. But I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm hating on people with mental illness, because I'm fucking quite mentally ill myself. But it's been a frustrating aspect of life and been a frustrating aspect of being on the internet, because it just seems like it's all over the place. And it smells a little fishy. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say it smells a little fishy. And do whatever the fuck you want. Do whatever the fuck you want. Diagnose yourself with whatever the fuck you want. Just don't ask me to accommodate you, because it's too much. It's too much. I'm sounding like a fucking Republican right now. Maybe I am. Who knows? Who knows? We're ending the fucking podcast, though, because it's been too long. Been talking for 36 fucking minutes about who knows what. Pretty sure I asked people to go on my Facebook and try and cancel 14-year-old me, but I don't know, guys. Fucking Ellison's coming back. I know I told you guys on the last episode that Ellison was coming back on the 4th of January. That was a lie. I was not informed that they were putting in a kitchen. So close the first 2 weeks of January. We are back with a Metro Detroit lineup on January 18th. That one's going to be hosted by Trevor Tress, because I am taking off to Brett Hayden's Comedy Rumble on the 18th. If you're watching the podcast, you can see this lovely sign I made a year ago for the podcast. Because if you remember, a year ago, I promised you guys a video podcast, and I'm finally delivering. Better late than never is what my mom used to always say. But yeah, we got Blind Pig on January 10th. Fucking, I'm going to be at the fucking Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase January 13th for their comedy jam. That one is going to be tickets in my link tree. I think it's $5 to get in. That's at the Ann Arbor Comedy Showcase. 7 p.m. showtime. On January 14th, I will be at Harmony Hall in Grand Rapids for Joe Johnson's Stolen Stool show. Super excited about that. Doing Make It Spicy on January 16th out in Grand Rapids. That is Justin Chupp's room. That's at 9 p.m. 17th, we have Crunchies in East Lansing. That one starts at 9. And fucking on the 22nd, we got Laughs at the Pack in Grand Rapids, and that is at an indoor dog park with fucking alcohol. So I highly recommend going to that show. Tickets in my link tree. I am fucking out of here, and I will see you guys next week.
Which I thought was adorable and hilarious that someone even like listened to this in the first place and then like went out of their way to like ask when the next one was coming out. And I was like, and Baby doesn't just let you use their restroom for free. You have to buy something. That's misleading. I need to stop doing that. You should get your head checked out because this shit is not funny.